Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we have a really special video. This is my 1000th beer review for you here on the channel, and as I always do with these landmark videos, I want to give a huge thank you to you guys, the followers. You know, I started this channel back in July 2013, right at the end of July actually, and it's been an awesome 3.5 years. You know, there's 1300 of you subscribed to the channel now. The channel's growing every day. I've met some of you guys in person. You've shown me some awesome beer places wherever I've been in the world. Some of you guys leave some really awesome comments, some great beer recommendations as well. Hugely appreciated for that. Some of you have even sent me some really ridiculously awesome beers. So a huge thank you to all of you who have supported the channel regardless of what it's done. It's been a really nice journey over the last 3.5 years, and I've got no intention of stopping. I'll continue this channel until I drop dead basically. I've got to try some really awesome beers from across the world, and you know, long may it continue. It's a really fun thing to do, and I really enjoy it, and you guys really make it what it is. And a big shout out to my other friends in the beer tubing community as well. Like, you guys all know who you are, and it's been really cool to interact with you guys over the last few years as well. So long may it continue. It's all a bit of fun, and you know, that's the approach you have to take to life. You have to just enjoy yourself and drink lots of good beer while you're doing that. So for this one we have a really interesting beer. Now this was one of two special beers that I bought one time in Brewdog in Aberdeen back when I was studying chemistry there. So along with my graduation beer, which was Brewdog's Anarchist Alchemist, I actually brought this guy, and ironically this brewery turned out to be one of my favourite breweries, probably my favourite brewery actually, since I've moved over here to Scandinavia. So for this one we are going to return to Amager Bryghus once again, and we have a collaboration beer with Mikkeller, and this is really quite special. This is Hr Frederiksens Væsel Brunch, and this is a blend of two of Denmark's really very popular Imperial Stout. So on the one hand you've got the Amager Hr Fredriksen, and on the other hand you've got the Mikkeller Beer Geek Brunch Weasel, and these are two of the really old school, very popular Danish Imperial Stouts, and this one of course is a blend of the two, so I'm sure it will be pretty damn awesome actually. So this beer was rated 100 overall on Rate Beer, 95 within the style. It's actually better rated than the barrel aged version, which is quite unusual if I'm not mistaken, but it comes in at 10.7% ABV, and it should be really awesome. As I say, this was one of the first of the more expensive beers that I ever bought, so it only seems right to kind of pop it out for this 1000th review, and I really hope you guys enjoy this one. But anyway, as is usual with my beer reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the breweries involved here. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews I've done from Amager and Mikkeller before. No doubt I will add more in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do subscribe to the channel. The whole channel of course has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the home page and search for beer based on country, city or state, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Danish beers that I've reviewed for you before. That's constantly being added to, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. Always interesting to hear from you guys, and the support that you give the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Amager Bryghus first off then. So Amager Bryghus, as I've mentioned to you many a time, are based in Kastrup in Copenhagen in Denmark, and these guys are probably one of the best known Danish craft breweries these days. So they were established back in April 2007 by two young friends, Morten Valentin Lundsbach and Jakob Storm, both of whom were very avid home brewers. But apparently one time at school the pair were forced to do a chemistry and physics project together, and so they actually wrote about the fermentation process of beers, and that was when they just became hooked on the idea of becoming brewers. And they've travelled all across the world and tried lots of different beers, and these guys produced some really damn awesome stuff. But the brewery is actually located in Tornbu in the very southern part of the city, very close to the airport, and they've been expanding constantly over the last few years. They've got a very distinctive style of artwork, and you know, these guys are one of my favourite breweries over here in Scandinavia at the moment. So if you get the chance to try some of the Amager beers, I really highly recommend that you do. This is my 15th or 16th review from these guys now. They do all sorts of different styles. The IPAs, I think they do more IPAs than Imperial Stouts and things, but pretty much with this brewery you can pick a style that you personally enjoy, and you can pretty much guarantee that you'll think it's an awesome beer. So yeah, on to Mikkeller now then. So this is the famous Danish Gypsy Brewery, of course. It was founded by Christian Keller and Mikkel Bjergso, although it's now run exclusively by Bjergso, who actually used to be a physics and math teacher. But again, these guys are very influenced by the American craft brewing renaissance. They actually started out as the home brewing experimentation of Christian and Mikkel, and it grew from there. They introduced their beers into a home brewing group, and they got really awesome feedback on them, so they decided to turn professional, of course. But these guys are a gypsy brewery, of course, so they don't actually have their own brewery, and rather they brew at a variety of host institutions across the world. I think most of their beers are brewed at the De Proef Brouwerij in Locriste in Belgium, but they actually brew some of their beers in Scotland, I believe at Brewdog actually, some of them over in America as well, and they've got various bars all over the place. Their home base as such is the original Mikkeller bar, which I believe is Victoriagade in Copenhagen. It's very close to the central station actually, but they've got various bars all across the world now. There's one in Seoul, there was one in Tokyo for a period, there's Bangkok, there's Reykjavik, there's one in San Diego over in California. They're always expanding their beer scene, and they're always producing some really awesome beers. I think they've got well over 1,000, maybe even 1,500 beers that they've produced over the last 10 years or so that they've been going. A lot of these breweries, a lot of the more established craft breweries actually these days are coming very close to their 10th anniversary. But again, Mikkeller and Amager, two really awesome Danish breweries. And if you get the chance to try some of their beers, if you haven't already, I highly recommend that you do. But if you want to learn more about either brewery, of course, do make sure you check out the link to the brewery websites in the description below. But let's get on to the actual tasting of this beer then. Definitely looking forward to this one. So I'll just bring up the camera and let you have a little look at the artwork of this before we open up, if I can find my cursor. There we are. So there you can see, there's the Brunch Weasel just having a sleep on the table there. This one, of course, is different from the other Amager beers because it does have an exclusively Mikkeller style of artwork on it. This one, this Amager beer is actually that old that the bottle cap is silver rather than black actually, but it should be a really damn awesome beer. Like I said to you, it's a 10.7% Imperial Stout. It says on the side here, this is a unique blend of two of Denmark's best Imperial Stouts. We've brewed Mikkeller Beer Geek Brunch Weasel and Amager Bryghus Miss Hr Frederiksens separately, and then blended the two brews. This has provided a very balanced, harmonious and full-bodied beer. After maturing, the beer is stored in our cold cellar for almost 1 year. So yeah, it should be really damn awesome. It doesn't actually say the date that it was bottled on as far as I can see, but you know, when it's 10.7%, it will last a long time. You know, it will last probably the best part of 10 years, but really nicely presented, this one. Some awesome artwork, as you always get from Amager and from Mikkeller. But without further ado then, let's pop this guy open and we'll get on with the tasting. Here's to 1,000 beer reviews. So yeah, nice smoky opening on this one, and we'll get it out and into the glass. And I tell you something, you can smell some really awesome chocolatey notes on this as you open it up. It's an absolutely beautiful looking beer, that. So yeah, as you can see, this beer is poured a really nice ebony rosewood colour, kind of exactly as you would expect. There's a good little bit of sediment visible in it actually. The camera's just gone a bit crazy with the light there, but if I hold it up and just hold it in front of me, there's a tiny little bit of a ruby edge to it, but otherwise it is pretty dark, and I think that ebony kind of rosewood descriptor really fits this beer. But it looks very, very nice. There is a very, very thin foamy layer of a kind of beigey, almost chocolate, hot chocolate coloured head on this one. Beigey tan is probably the best way to describe it. There's some big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass on this one, and quite a few little ones just heading up towards the bottom of that head there. But overall, it does look very, very nice. And this beer's coming across as being very, very sweet actually, just when I'm moving it around in front of me. But let's take a closer look at the aroma and see how we get on with this one. Oh yeah. When you lean in closer to it, you get a lot of these nice kind of roasted malts. Yeah, it's got a big roasted black malt character. There's some coffee elements to it. But then on top of that, you've got a lot of roasted brown sugar in there. Yeah, there's definitely caramel on top of that. When you sugar the beer up, you start to get more of the coffee elements coming out of it. The nice roasted black malts in there. When you let it settle, it comes across as a lot sweeter. And then you've got a good mix of dark chocolate and milk chocolate in there. And it just smells awesome. You know, there's a bit of woody character to it actually. Yeah, some woody and nutty notes. You can smell the booziness on it. Maybe even a little bit of licorice in there. But when you let it settle, it has almost a kind of vanilla quality to it. It really does smell awesome actually. There's a little bit of earthy hop in there, but there's a bit of a kind of red fruit ester coming off this beer. It's actually got a bit of a kind of raisin or plummy sharpness to the beer as well. Oh, it smells absolutely beautiful. If you ever get the chance to try this beer, I'm not sure if you will because it is an old beer, but if you get the chance to try this one, I highly recommend you do. This, I'm sure it will be a damn awesome beer. Just take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of the beers. Both of these beers are awesome individually. You've seen my reviews of them a few videos ago. and it's going to be really awesome to try this this Imperial Stout blend between the two, especially when it's been aged as long as it has. This beer, as I say, I think it's about 5 years old. I'm not too certain about that. I think I bought this one in 2012 and I'm trying it for you in 2017. So it is about 5 years old. But it smells absolutely beautiful. I could sit and smell this all day. It really is amazing. So yeah, without further ado then, let's get stuck into this one. So this one is the Hr Frederiksens Væsel Brunch, a 10.7% Imperial Stout, brewed in collaboration between Amager Bryghus, one of my favourite breweries of course from Scandinavia, from Copenhagen in Denmark, with the Danish Gypsy brewer Mikkeller. It's a blend of the Amager Hr Fredriksen and Mikkeller's Beer Geek Brunch Weasel. Let's get stuck into this beer. Thank you for all your support over the last 1,000 reviews. There will be another 1,000 and God knows how long it will continue. May it go forever. Slanja, Skål. Yeah, that is a damn good beer. And you know, it's interesting because, you know, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, you're just surprised at how good a beer can be. This is really damn good. It's so smooth. That's the first thing I'm noticing about this beer. You know, it leans towards the coffee side of things. That's one thing I should say as well. Coffee stouts was a beer style I never really thought I'd like. I actually don't drink coffee, but I love some of the coffee stouts I've had recently have been really awesome. I can really appreciate the flavours that coffee gives to the beer, but I've just never been such a big fan of drinking hot coffee actually. But this is a really damn awesome beer. It's got a good mix between the kind of sweetness that Hr Fredriksen has and the more kind of bitter and roasted coffee notes that you expect of the Beer Geek Brunch Weasel. It really is damn awesome, this beer. If you ever get the chance to try it, as I said, I do doubt that you will now. This is a really awesome beer. Yeah. Oh, so good. So yeah, let's examine this one a bit more closely. As I always say with these dark beers, sugar the beer around your palate a little bit and just let your whole mouth adjust to it before you start analysing the flavour too much. But this one is really nice. You can feel that kind of black malt base on this one. It starts to push its way out a little bit more as the beer progresses into the aftertaste, right enough. But the malt base on this one, it is actually really quite smooth. It's got that nice coffee smoothness and those black malts just underpinning the flavour. On top of that, you've got the sweet chocolate. It's not quite licoricey as I was picking up in the aroma. It's got a good balance between the dark chocolate and the milky chocolate. There is an element of a kind of toasted brown sugar character in there. It's actually quite a dark brown sugar, this one. Probably the kind of tree-colour molasses, but the flavour is definitely dominated by the more roasty elements, the black malts and the sort of smoothness that you get from the coffee. But the chocolate just sits there right in the middle of the palate too. It really is an awesome beer. Yeah, it comes in very sweet. You get a lot of chocolate from it initially, then it just dries out a little bit, and that's when the coffee smoothness just starts to take over. And as you progress into the aftertaste, you can feel a little bit of the chocolatey and sort of brown sugary elements just lingering in the middle of your palate, and then the rest of the palate really starts to get a bit more bitter and dry, and it really is very nice. It's just interesting how this one goes. I wish I'd tried it when I'd had another one of these and actually tried it when I got it, because it would be interesting to know just how this one's matured. But I guess the most important thing is that it's a damn awesome beer, and as I say, from both of these breweries you wouldn't expect anything else. They really are very good. You know, both of these beers are individually are pretty damn awesome, and together they just go together really well. The sweetness that you get from the Hr Fredriksen complements the more roasty bitterness that you get from the Beer Geek Brunch Weasel. It really complements each other very well. On the hoppy side of things in this beer, it's quite simple. You know, it's earthy hops as you would expect. So in the back corners of your palate, it does have quite a bit of bitterness to it. Then it just smooths out as you come forward, and maybe it's even just a teeny bit grassy or something like that around the front curve of your palate. But the hoppy side of the beer, of course, is simple. It's big earthy hops, probably English hops that they've used in this one, judging by the taste. Fugos or something like that. Fugos, of course, is the one that gives you the big ashy character, but it really is very nice. course, I think Hr Frederiksens actually uses a few different hops. I've said that, but they do use a few different hops in their stouts as well. But this is damn good. You know, just go behind the front curve of your palate there, and you'll see this nice little oily bubble that comes out, and that's where the fruity character on this beer starts to come out. It's a good mix between there's a lighter candied red fruit ester to it, then there's some raisins, some plums and things like that. The red fruits on this beer come out really, really nicely. It's just an amazing beer, there's no doubt in my mind about that. As you progress further into the aftertaste, there's a sort of woody aspect coming out of this one. It's probably been aged in, they said that they aged it in their cellar for about a year. You can taste a little bit of charring from this one, and it does have a sort of slightly oaky kind of vanilla character to it, which is really, really nice. I do like how this beer's come across actually, it's amazing, it really is that good. There's no doubt in my mind about this one that it deserves the rating of 100 it has on Rate Beer. You know, it's one of the best Imperial Stouts I've reviewed for you on the channel, there's no doubt in my mind about that. It really is very, very good. But there's some vanilla elements in this beer too, and I'm finding that as my palate adjusts to this beer, it starts to get more and more roasted in the middle of the palate too. It really, just everything in this beer goes together very well. Like I was saying, the kind of essential thing to this one is the sweeter characters, the chocolate and things like that you get from the Hr Fredriksen. It really blends together very well with the Beer Geek Brunch Weasel. It just gives you the two extremes. You've got some really nice sweetness and some really nice dark roasted bitterness to this beer. It's awesome, it fully deserves the rating of 100 on Rate Beer that it has, and I'm very glad that I was able to try this one for my 1000th beer review. In terms of the mouthfeel that this beer has then, this one is definitely a full-bodied beer. Big oily mouthfeel to this one. The carbonation is very, very smooth. Like I said, the malt base has a really good balance between the sweet side of things and the really roasted bitter side of things as well. The hops are actually more smooth, but there is a little bit of earthy bitterness there, particularly on the back sides of the palate, and you've got a nice little bit of juicy fruit in there too. You know, the main conclusion to take away from this one is that this is a damn awesome beer, and I'm glad I kept this for my 1000th review. So yeah, it's been really great to try this one for you. Once again, a huge thank you for all the support that you've shown the channel over the 1000 videos that I've made. And long may it continue. You know, thank you once again for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. If you get the chance to try any of the beers from Amager or Mikkeller, both of these beers individually are awesome. If somehow you do come across this one, it really is awesome as well, so make sure you try it. But do let me know your own thoughts on this beer if you have tried it before. But thank you again for all your support. It's really humbling to have such a loyal following to the channel, and this has been a damn awesome beer to review for you for 1000. So I'll see you when it comes to 2000 reviews. We'll see what we can throw up for that one. But thank you again for watching, and I will catch you very soon. Make sure you check out these breweries and their beers. They really are very, very good. Copenhagen, of course, is one of the best beer cities in the world. Cheers.